Have you ever wondered what makes a story timeless? Why do we return, generation after generation, to tales like the Ramayana? It's more than just an epic of heroes and demons, princes and princesses. It's a profound exploration of what it means to be human, a journey into the very nature of consciousness, responsibility, and integrity. Today, let's delve into the philosophical heart of this ancient masterpiece and uncover the lessons it holds for us in the modern world. The Ramayana, AISNT, just Rama's story. In many ways, it's our story. At its core, the epic asks a fundamental question: what is Dharma? And it doesn't give us a simple, one-word answer. Instead, it presents us with Rama, a character who embodies Dharma in every action, every decision, and every thought. He is often called Meri Bed Purukattama, the perfect man, not because he is flawless, but because he lives with unwavering integrity, bound by his word and his duty. Let's think about consciousness. In Vedantic philosophy, our true self is pure consciousness, the silent witness behind all our thoughts and actions. Rama, as an incarnation of Vishnu, represents this highest state of awareness. He moves through the world, experiencing joy, sorrow, love, and loss. Yet he is never completely lost in them. He maintains a state of equilibrium, of calm detachment. When he is exiled to the forest on the eve of his coronation, he accepts his fate without bitterness. When Sītā is abducted, his grief is immense, but it doesn't consume him. It fuels his purposeful action. This is a powerful lesson for us. In our own lives, we are constantly tossed around by the waves of emotion and circumstance. We get attached to outcomes. We are broken by disappointments. The path of Rama teaches us to cultivate an inner witness, a part of our consciousness that can observe our own mental drama without getting swept away. It's about finding that still point in the center of the storm. This isn't about suppressing emotions, but about understanding them as passing clouds in the vast sky of our awareness. Rama weeps, he rages, he loves deeply, but his core identity remains anchored in a higher truth. Now, let's talk about responsibility. Rama's life is a masterclass in duty. He has a duty as a son, a husband, a brother, and a king. Often, these duties conflict. The most agonizing moment is his promise to his father, which forces him into exile and costs him his kingdom. Why does he do it? Why not just say, "This is unfair," and fight for his right? Because for Rama, his word, his promise, is the highest law. His integrity is non-negotiable. This concept of holding one's word, of being true to oneself, is the bedrock of his character. In a world where promises are often broken and commitments are flexible, Rama's steadfastness is revolutionary. He teaches us that true freedom isn't the ability to do whatever we want, but the strength to do what is right, even when it's incredibly difficult. His journey is a constant test of this principle. Every choice he makes, from accepting exile to his ultimate decisions as a king, is filtered through this lens of Dharma and responsibility. He puts the welfare of his people and the integrity of his lineage above his personal happiness. It's a heavy burden, one that causes him immense personal suffering, but it is the burden he chooses to carry. This brings us to the nature of integrity. Integrity isn't just about being honest with others. It's about being honest with ourselves. It's about aligning our thoughts, words, and actions. Rama is the epitome of this alignment. There is no gap between what he believes, what he says, and what he does. When he makes a promise, it's as good as done. This is why everyone, from his own family to the monkeys and bears of Kikindi, even his enemies, trusts him implicitly. His integrity is his power. Consider his relationship with his brothers. Bharata, who is given the throne, refuses to accept it and rules as Rama's regent, placing Ramasandalis on the throne as a symbol of the true king. Lakṣmaṇa abandons his own life of comfort to serve Rama in the forest without a second thought. This unwavering loyalty isn't commanded. It's inspired. It's a direct result of Rama's own unshakable integrity. He leads not by force, but by example. His very presence elevates those around him, inspiring them to be their best selves. But the Ramayana is not a simple story of a perfect man winning against evil. It's filled with moral complexity and gray areas. The conflict isn't just external, between Rama and Rava, it's internal. Rama himself faces dilemmas that have no easy answers. The killing of Vili, for instance, is a moment where Rama's actions are questioned. He attacks Vali from a hidden position, which seems to violate the warrior's code. Why? The story suggests that sometimes, to uphold a greater Dharma, one might have to navigate complex ethical terrain. It forces us to think critically, not just to accept things blindly. It shows that the path of righteousness is not always a straight, well-lit highway. Sometimes, It's a narrow, winding path through a dark forest, where every step requires careful consideration. And what about Rāvāya? He isn't just a one-dimensional villain. He is a great scholar, a powerful king, and a devoted follower of Shiva. His fatal flaw is his ego, his ahakra. He believes his desires and his power are absolute. His abduction of Sītā isn't just an act of lust, it's an act of supreme arrogance. He represents the part of our own consciousness that is driven by ego, desire, and attachment. The war between Rāma and Rāvāya can be seen as the internal battle we all fight, the battle between our higher self, guided by Dharma and consciousness, and our lower self, ruled by the ego. Rāvāya, with his 10 heads, can symbolize the 10 senses and the mind running wild, uncontrolled by a higher principle. Rama's victory is the victory of self-control over self-indulgence, of order over chaos. Even after the victory, the challenges don't end. The trial by fire for Sītā and her later exile are perhaps the most heart-wrenching and debated parts of the epic. From a modern perspective, they are deeply troubling. But if we look at them through the philosophical lens of the story, they represent the ultimate sacrifice of personal happiness for the sake of royal duty, or Dharma. Rama the husband is forced to give way to Rama the king, who must be beyond reproach in the eyes of his people. It's a tragic choice, and the story docenti shy away from showing the immense pain it causes both Rama and Sītā. It highlights the immense, almost impossible, burden of being an ideal. It asks us, what is the price of integrity, and is it worth paying? The Ramayana doesn't give us easy answers. It gives us questions. It gives us a framework for examining our own lives. Are we living with awareness, or are we on autopilot, driven by our impulses? Are we taking responsibility for our actions and our words? Are our thoughts, words, and deeds aligned? Are we fighting the Rāvāya within us, our ego, our greed, our anger? The journey of Rama from Ayodhya to the forest, across the sea to Lakṣmaṇa, and back to Ayodhya, is a metaphor for our own spiritual journey. We start in a place of comfort, are thrust into the wilderness of life's challenges. We must cross the vast ocean of ignorance, battle our inner demons, and hopefully return to our true home, a state of inner peace and enlightened consciousness. The timeless power of the Ramayana lies in its ability to be a mirror. When we look into it, we see Rama, we see Sītā, we see Lakṣmaṇa, Hanuman, and Rava. But if we look deeper, we see ourselves. We see our struggles, our dilemmas, our potential for greatness, and our capacity for error. It's a guide for the perplexed soul, a story that continues to teach, inspire, and challenge us to live more consciously, more responsibly, and with greater integrity. And that is why, thousands of years later, we still tell this story. Thank you so much for joining me on this philosophical exploration. If you found these ideas thought-provoking, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that dives deep into the wisdom of ancient stories. What are your biggest takeaways from the Ramayana? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring.